after is Nigma. Now 7-3. They still have this stack here, Liquid. Boxy's very low.
Koikman is too. They're way too low. They might just die.
They can't stop Nigma getting quite a few of these creeps here. So after clearing up the medium cap, the large cap, it was, you know, left to sort of Nigma to pick up some of the big creeps at the end of it all.
And it's much easier when I just look at Nigma's draft to make these type of lane rotations and just go and back up their teammates. I look at Liquid's, it's very tough until they start getting those 6s online, especially for that Phoenix. These heroes just don't rotate and make these type of ganks. They're very stationary in their lanes for the side of Liquid. So Nigma, they're taking advantage of that in GH with this very deep ward. Actually gets a scan out of Liquid. But he's still looking for Insania. He still finds him.
Does get the Ice Edict off in time. Protects him a little bit.
And the birds are coming. Very tough until they start getting those.
Maybe they can turn onto GH, especially with Koikfa here.
These heroes just
birds are out. GH, he'll get punished for poking out Insanias. We're seeing Koikfa skip out any opportunity to sort of come back through his jungle and just force GH out of this half of the map.
Yeah, he draws a circle and he's like, yeah, they're going to be playing around here. Probably letting his bottom lane know that they can easily set up kill threats onto Boxy if he does step up too far, since the reactions from Koikfa has always just been playing around top lane.
Mind control.
He finds him.
Yeah, straight up with the combo. Now that Laguna was online. Gets the kill, that'll be the money for the Arcanes, so he can stay strong in this lane and continue with the spam onto Mickey, trying to slow down this Morph's early game. Koikfa and Tiger, though, moving over for the bounty rune. They get eyes on GH, but GH, he's out in time. Koikfa won't be able to get a hold on to him.
Wow, Tiger hitting 6 already. Pretty huge. They've been giving him some experience around like the mid lane and getting that kill bottom, but yeah, all the way at 6, and GH only level 4.5 now, even though he did have those nice rotations a bit going on for him.
Yeah, I guess, yeah, as you say, Tiger's just spent more time in the lane. As we've seen with GH, he spent a lot of the last few minutes just in Nigma's jungle trying to hunt for pickoffs on Insania, which didn't work out all the times. Mid lane, we are. He's able to bring Tiger down low enough to catch him post-dive with the Thunder Gods. As his game continued to look very solid here with this opening. 3-0-3. I mean, against the lane as well, where he could have been killed off, and he does indeed. That's a very, very fast spot after these 3 nulls. So he's going to be incredibly active, and also just a very reliable follow-up damage source to when Miracle does find chrono opportunities.
Yeah, he can show up a lot of times to wherever GH is or to where the Chronosphere is. GH looking to go for Boxy here, but too tanky. Again, scouting out stacks. He sees these ancient stacks coming out from Liquid, and they can't quite catch him. Chronosphere at the ready, and they have the Mortimer Kisses, so a little bit hard for Liquid to fight, even though they have the Phoenix 6. I feel like whenever these two are together in unison, it's just a free kill.
Yeah, I guess one of the pluses for Liquid's lineup around that area in regards to the Ancients stack is that, well, Nigma's heroes, they don't really take Ancients very quickly. So Nigma, they know it's there, but realistically, not really a lot Nigma can do to take it away. Maybe they can use that info to try and find a fight around it when Liquid's going for it, but they're not going to be able to steal that stack from them.
Unless they clear, like, kill absolutely everybody, right?
Sure, yeah, if they have like a huge team fight. As you can see, yeah, Tiger's just going to continue to get these stacks going.
Hook shot mid.
Oh, they've got the setup.
No, there's the kisses.
Ooh. That's a big payday for RMN. He didn't only get the kill, he got both of the familiars with the damage from the kisses. So that was a bonus 200 gold on top of the kill. That's a lot of money here for RMN.
That is the dream. And I'm seeing a Soul Ring purchased up from him. I actually just had heard about this. I'm hearing a lot of 5 positions are buying Soul Rings now in games. I'm curious to see what that's all about here. Because I guess they just don't want to be going for their like arcane boots or anything like that. You just want any cheap source of mana. I was literally just hearing about it like last night and yesterday about how more 5s are doing this.
Yeah.
Top. Looking to punish Mickey, looking to slow him down a little bit. Still hard though, Mickey. He has the morph available too. He can think about turning if they try to get too aggressive.
Yeah, I mean the Soul Ring as well is also very nice whenever you do find the shovel, right? Because you care much less about the health management, as you're very likely to have salves to allow you to play aggressive with your HP.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting because this is what I'm saying, like tranquil Soul Ring, so you don't have to worry about it as We see Liquid playing a little bit more of this farming style here, waiting to have this any type of forms of initiation. They have it. Boxy has the Blink Dagger. Now they can look to be a little bit more active on the map, where right now it's been Nigma kind of dictating the pace of everything. See what Liquid does with this Blink reveal.
There we go, Boxy. Sweeping into position. Instantly scouted, though, by GH with a rocket flare. Lays it straight down into the trees so he can see any sort of TP movements, and he spots out the whole thing. And with that in mind, Liquid's not going to be able to make the jump.
Radiant are scanning.
I'm going to back up and look for a smoke opportunity, though. And I'm looking at everybody carrying raindrops. You know, you're playing versus Zeus and all this amount of magic damage from
Dire's
Nigma.
middle tower has fallen.
Definitely will be valuable, especially on blink initiators. I love raindrops on those blinks. Then you know you can block the damage and get a blink off sometimes. As you see, they're forcing the issue here. They have to be a bit careful. Chrono is ready, and we see Armen. He's sitting around mid lane too with the kisses.
Liquid there. I mean, they're trying to find something down here, but nobody's over here.
No, and this Void is just, I mean, Miracle's just doing the miracle things. We've seen what he's been able to do as this Void several times throughout this tournament here. And he's getting away with this full free farm ring.
Yeah, he's getting all the space.
Yep. And they have a very well-rounded draft with it, as we said, like so many different elements to throw inside that Chrono. It's not just Miracle this time that's going to be doing all that damage in it.
No, this is not a game where you'll imagine we'll see any Chronos where it's like, where's the damage? They've got all the damage. Zeus, Snapfire, and Lina, obviously the big ones, but that's enough. You know, one of these heroes is going to be able to help Miracle finish off whoever he catches in the Chronosphere.
Yeah, definitely a pipe game if I've ever seen one for the side of Liquid. Koikva, he's going to be that aura rallier for his teammates. Just wondering when they're ever going to be able to actually kick off any fights. They do have great combos coming into on the side of Liquid. The Blink Call with the egg, a couple different ways to protect it with that. Well, lots more synergy coming in with Nigma's full draft.
And they will need to protect that egg, of course, considering that on Nigma's side, you've got two heroes that are pretty darn good at taking down the Supernova, the Lina and the Snapfire with the Fiery Souls, or the little Shredder. Yeah, you got to have some pretty perfect positions and protection for the Supernova to get it off successfully.
I'm
a bit concerned when I do see Liquid just on the back foot like this when they have a Visage in their draft.
Yeah.
This is just usually a hero. Like this hero he does scale, especially like you hit 15. This is one of your strongest points as the Visage, but I have to be a little bit worried just because I've seen this Void so many times, and they have so many different elements of control and stun for the Morphling for Mickey. Definitely a little concerned if they don't start pressing and at least finding some type of kills on the map to slow down Nigma's just massive amount of farm.
Yeah, I mean, maybe they can sort of rest on the one thing that we did see the other day. You know, Mickey, he has won pretty unwinnable games as his ball.
It is true, bottom. Takes the opportunities.
He's going to get the jump in onto Insania. Insania is going to get left behind here, dying to the kisses. Koifa continuing to retreat. They won't be able to catch him. So, kisses down, and it is just the Oracle.
Yeah, at least they don't lose Koikfa. They only get the 5 position there for 3 ults. They still have ults available though, so I think Liquid. I think they're feeling a little bit afraid to actually make a move here into the Chronosphere.
I mean, yeah, and I think one of the things that shows sort of how relaxed Nigma is you know, we haven't seen a Chronosphere yet this game, have we, from Miracle? Yet he hasn't needed to. They haven't felt the pressure to go hunting for it.
And now they found Koikfa.
Well, that's a big one. And they get they got both the birds as well. They're just going to take the freebie here. Miracle having no qualms with just dropping the Chrono to kill whoever is. I think Nigma knows. I think they feel pretty comfortable in this game right now.
Yeah. Right now, like Liquid, when they respawn, they have to do something. They can't just keep playing this farming passive game. They've got their Spirit Vessel finished on the Phoenix too, and they've got the Blink on the Axe. They have to start making stuff happen when these ults are on cooldown. They have to find something.
He's in the trees, but couldn't make a blink in time. Miracle's already out. Yeah, they really have. They've done nothing with this Blink Dagger on the Axe yet.
No.
Liquid. They've got to make moves with Boxy, otherwise that whole decent Blink Dagger timing it just becomes irrelevant.
Yeah. And this just gives time for all these ults to come back online. Like, they have to force something right now while a couple of them are down. Like, at least just try to force and push the tower here, at least. For some type of space for Mickey. Because the map, it's going to start closing very quickly for him.
And Nigma's just able to split up the map and get so much out of it. GH is bottom, Iron Man's chilling in the jungle, Mind Control's mid, Miracle's over by the Ancients, and Weehar's pushing top. You know, this has got to be punished by Liquid. They have to do something with this axe. Otherwise, you know, Nigma's just going to continue to get that much more out of the map. You know,
yeah,
18 minutes in, we're seeing 3 to 4K lead. The lead is only going to grow for Nigma unless Liquid can make some plays.
I'm just eyes on Boxy really to try to set up for it as bottom. Another initiation. GH is looking for the play first.
I mean, Quakefer, he's in a lot of trouble. He's going to pop the hood, and he has got the save of Insania. Meanwhile, Miracle, he's able to jump in, bash down Tiger, take him out. GH is going to go for the TP out, and he's going to make it away. They've got nothing to cancel the TP. Boxy will manage to kill RMN. So it is a kill. But still, they need more than that, Liquid. They've got to try and turn this into something more.
Unless they really do just feel confident that Mika can just full-out carry this game. That's
I mean, he did do it the other day.
He has done it before, but I think there's just a lot of elements he has to worry about this game. Like Chronosphere, Lina, even Snapfire. Snapfire has been one of those heroes I feel like just actually handles the morph really well. Spot him.
GH.
Liquid's getting aggressive.
There's a lot of back a bit. Boxy tries to get the call onto Weehole, won't quite be able to close the gap. They turn.
Here.
Boxy stepping in over towards mind control, gets the call off. GH getting low, gets dunked out by Boxy, but the Laguna Burst comes into play. They've taken out Boxy. Now Mickey, he's got to be careful. It turns into the Void form. He's got the time walk to jump away. Cookie onto Miracle. They're looking to take down some of these familiars. Quakefer is able to get them out. I mean, Miracle's got Chrono in 2 seconds.
Back up in 2 seconds.
He's got Chrono. He's going to be able to drop it. Quakefer gets the 2 birds. He's in on the target. And with the bashes of the Mask of Madness, that attack speed, he just takes the kill.
Radiant's middle
I mean, it couldn't have been back up at a more perfect time there, that Chrono. As soon as it was there, I mean, you could you see the way that Quakefer was sort of hovering around. I don't think he expected it to be out when it was. And it was there. Miracle drops the Chrono. His clean game continues. He's 5-0-3 on this Void.
Clean game for pretty much all of Nigma, except for GH's few mistakes that he's made, but he's still doing incredibly well. Look how farmed this Clockwork is. Halfway to an Ags. Zeus has now finished Ags. I feel like the onus is really on Liquid to start getting some type of advantages coming into this game. Or Nigma's they're just playing the farm game, and the farm game just plays so well for them. 17 kills as well.
Yeah.
Liquid has to try to make big moves when any of these ults are on cooldown.
A strange sort of situation for Liquid, because it feels like this. It was like this the other day, right?
Yeah.
Where Liquid, they had Boxy and Quakefer just falling behind. Their heroes becoming slowly less relevant. Maybe Boxy can find a jump here, though. Miracle. He's off to the side. Quakefer's going to spawn him with the familiars. Boxy's going to make the move to jump in onto mind control, and he'll burst him down. Takes the kill. But Mickey, he just got shot in the face by RMN.
Oh my god.
He just got scatter blasted straight in the face. He's dead. Boxy's going to die. RMN, he's picking up a triple kill. They look for the egg. Tiger does get it off successfully. He's burning down RMN. Will get the kill on the Snapfire. But now Tiger's going to fall as Miracle chases him down. I mean, Mickey, he was just on the front lines, full agi, and RMN just shot him in the face.
It's not that easy of a Morphling game. That's what we're saying. Like, there's so much different forms of burst damage for Mika if he doesn't play careful, and he did not give respect to that at all. Right into the Nimbus, I believe.
I sort of lost where he was. Yeah, he waveforms in, and then boom.
Pop.
Yeah. Scatter blast and Nimbus hit, and he was dead. I mean, you've got to be careful sliding into underneath that Nimbus.
And this is when they're trying to make a move, trying to take advantage of the fact that Chrono was down. Now Nigma, they just go into 2 heroes, they take a Roche, and Chrono's going to be back up soon.
Unless Quakefer can get the familiars in time, but he can't. Roshan down, they'll kill off one of the familiars. GH, he's already looking for action. He's got a hook shot at the ready, and he's in. Oh, slides around the familiar, gets in onto Quakefer. Mind Control's got the follow-up control with the Light Strike Array. They should have the damage here, but okay, Insania's able to get the false promise off in time. Keep him safe, Laguna's being thrown out. Miracle jumps in. They're going to have the damage to pop Quakefer as this false promise comes to an end. And Miracle, he's got the control on Insania, takes out the Oracle. It's 23-8 now, 9k lead for Nigma. Holding that Aegis as well on the Void, as it really is looking to go the same way as the losses that we saw from Liquid yesterday.
Yeah, it's really feeling like not a lot of hope. I think they needed to get the ball rolling a lot earlier here with this Visage, and with this early Blink Dagger on Boxy, they weren't really able to find too much. It's been them on the back foot this whole game, and yeah, Nigma Void, Miracle Void, looking good again. 6-0 and 8, 14 kill involvement. And they've got all the things to back him up too. Solar
I mean,
Crest finished
that's
up
the
on
thing, isn't it?
Snapfire.
Yeah.
Everything just works. It works all so well around this Void pick with their draft and with their itemization.
Yeah, they did get pretty much a perfect Void lineup.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of the times, you know, we obviously have seen Void coming in the drafts as that first pick, first phase, but then you don't tend as a team to normally get this caliber of heroes alongside him, and Nigma did this time. So much to work with that Chrono.
They saw the smoke there. Trying to get a big wrap around here, but it's an Aegis on Miracle.
Yeah, and a Miracle that has his Chronos
Oh my god, and a full MKB after that. Oh my god.
And he's level 18. He's got Chrono ready to go. This is an incredibly hard move for Liquid to make. It's going to be shouted out. They put the Thunder God's Wrath. They know they're on the high ground.
They're trying to catch the Zeus and this Lina and the Snapfire, these squishier heroes in the backlines, but now look at GH. He just parks himself between them. He says, go on me, please. It'll just allow Nigma to get a full free initiation, and yeah, Liquid can't go. They can't punish.
And this, I mean, as I said, we've seen it before from Liquid. It was seemingly the strat that they did last series. It was the, dear Mickey, please can you carry us? Love from Liquid, you know?
Yeah.
And he did, when he played the Morph yesterday, that was the game that they did grab, you know, for the jaws of defeat. It was when he was on his Morph.
Blink's canceled. Boxy. He'll get away. But Insania, goodbye. Oh, the GG branch? Oh my god. No, he did. He pushed Miracle out with the GG branch.
All right, very, very nice.
All right, I mean,
at least able to keep, you know, coming out with these cute plays, flashy stuff when they're down. And it's Miracle. He's going to step over towards Tiger. Tiger is able to dodge. The hook shot, Chrono's going to be dropped down. Quake's pushed to the side. Mickey's going to come in and look towards Mind Control. They will be able to take down the leader. Mind Control goes down. Mickey turning into the Snapfire. Cookies over onto RMN. Miracle's trying to bash down Mickey, but the false promise comes out from Insania. They keep Mickey alive. Miracle turns over towards Quaker instead. Can he find the last few hits? He can't. Quaker's going to live. Boxy's in with a call. They've got the Supernova prepared. Is this going to be timed perfectly with the respawn? Oh, not quite. Miracle's able to time walk out to the side. Now backups here. Boxy's low. Miracle going to start charging in first hit bash. Stops Boxy in his tracks. Now Miracle's over for more. It's Insania, Quaker and Tiger have to get back up to the high ground. GH's got the hook shot back up, closes in, pushes Insania back into the hands of Miracle.
Burning.
Miracle do manage to get GH, so Liquid finding some kills out of all of that, but still not able to kill Miracle beyond that Aegis.
No, and it's not really Mickey who gets any of these kills or any of these big things to boost him up. He actually has to run away afterwards and doesn't actually get any of that gold or any of that experience from those kills that they did end up getting from the buyback of Taiga. So Miracle, he just gets this massive growth here from the fight, but Mickey does not. And yeah, it needs to all go to Mickey. He needs all the gold in the world to try to carry this game. Did some nice plays there, as you know, pretty expected for us now as we watch Mickey play Morphling so nicely with his Morph, just jumping in between the Snapfire and using all his spells. But it's just not enough at this point. They're just too far behind. And just such an overwhelming amount of damage really coming out from Nigma with this draft. Just everyone is just pumping in the numbers, really.
See mid. I get one of the familiars. Boxy. Oh, that's a three-man call. That's a big one. He's in on top of We Are. Is he going to get dunked? He gets the chance to get the Thunder God's Wrath out. Mind Control turns with the burst onto Insania, but Insania will live. The control. GH traps them all. Boxy and Tiger caught on the high ground. The kiss is continuing to rain down onto Quake for Miracle. He's in. The familiar's down. A disarm from Insania slows Miracle down temporarily from hitting into Quakefer, but the disarm comes to an end, and so does Quakefer's life. Now Nigma look towards Insania, as this time the GG branch won't save him, as they lose for Liquid. I mean, it was a great call from Boxy, but I feel like we kind of needed that call to happen earlier. About 20 minutes ago. Well, maybe not 20, but 50, you know, a long time before now. As now, it's just they're just too far behind, and even a brilliant call like that, it's just not going to cut it.
No, they're just too farmed at this point, really. Like you see GH, he has the Aghanim, so he just double hook shots the targets afterwards. Weehaw dies, but everybody else turns up in full force. And now Chrono's back at the ready.
Oh yeah, I mean, Nigma might even stick around to just fight again with that Chrono. Let's see how aggressive they want to play here. Keeping on this melee racks. Boxy's coming in with a call, but an instant dodge by Miracle. Cookie in. Find the space to keep hitting the racks here, Miracle. As he really isn't scared of much that Liquid can throw at him right now.
He's got the Satanic coming on the courier. Full Satanic, S&Y, MKB, 28 minutes. This is an absolutely unstoppable Void. Now that Berserker's Call, you know, that nice 3.2 second duration, no longer. Versus all this juicy status resist. Yes, yeah, it feels so impossible for Liquid. They're gonna have some dream call from Boxy under a supernova to try to take this in any way at this deficit.
Yeah, it's just been another rough game for them.
Yep.
I mean, yesterday was a rough day for Liquid. The performances did feel rather lackluster, and in this game one, it's not looking like much has changed overnight.
Oh, it really was that period right where Boxy got the blink for like 5 minutes. It felt like they were playing very passive on the map, and it was Nigma just running at them and just forcing these mistakes. Got the ball rolling for them, and now, yeah, like we said, with this humongous advantage, they're just gonna
push in.
They don't even need the miss.
He's not died yet this game, so you know, no reason to believe that he would.
Yep.
So off the back of this
medallion, buff him up. 34 armor.
12-0-10. I think,
flawless.
you know, the Void, for a lot of teams, it has, you know, been a carry that you don't let them have. I think, you know, Nigma has to kind of be the team that's the top priority to ban that Void. And Boxy's going to try and jump this. But, I mean, there isn't any backup.
And now Tiger.
Boxy's dead. Tiger will get the dive out, but the Chrono's there, catching the two of them on the high ground. They're going to be able to walk over, take down Tiger, take down Insania. Mickey will manage to at least turn into the Weeha and use the power of the Zeus against him. Okay, heading over to join the rest of the team. Miracle and GH trying to push Mickey off to the side. Cookie forward, they've got the stun. Boxy, he bought back for this. Miracle chasing him down. Boxy will get the call off, but the damage from this Void is just too much. He dies to the right clicks of mind control. Quite from Mickey, the last two left standing as Miracle. He's just chasing them down, diving them back up to the high ground.
He's a monster. The time dilation now. Uh-oh.
And Mickey, he's got no way out of this. There's another one for Miracle. He's just pounding up the KDA right now. 15-0-12, 15-0-13. In they go. Hook shot and a jump forward. I'll get even more. As this game, I mean, this is over. This is absolutely over. 37-14, 23k lead.
Items. He's bullying. GH is pinging him. GH is like, don't be like that. Come on, man. Don't do this. These are our friends. That's GG.
There we go. I mean, wow. Nigma. They made this one look pretty easy. You know, the way that they played, I guess it just didn't leave any opportunities for Liquid to ever make the moves that they hoped for with this, you know, this axe, right? Boxy, he gets the blink. Nothing really happened. Nothing really happened from Liquid. One of the problems that we did see from them in the series yesterday, and Nigma did everything in the world with that space and time and actually ended up being more active themselves, as we saw at the end. Just the overall KDA from some of these heroes, and Miracle Void, flawless performance, 16-0-13. This game was not close by any means. This was a very one-sided affair here, Fogged.
No, it was a pretty difficult to make everything work together here with Liquid. I thought maybe this Visage might be the thing that allows them to actually play together, but it really was just Nigma. They were doing anything they wanted, it felt like, just dictating the pace, and Liquid, they were all just farming. It really did feel like from that like 13 to 18 minute mark, Nigma was just literally running around and just being like, okay, we can just pick off these heroes here. So they really got to step it up here if they're going to be able to bring it, or just ban out this Void that might just make the drafts a little bit too easy for Nigma to make and wrap up. Yeah,
I feel like maybe just sort of simplifying it a little bit. I feel, you know, Liquid, it seems like they're trying to come out with those, you know, so those quite for, you know, last pick heroes that we saw yesterday, like the Lycan and here the Visage, and it just doesn't seem to be having anywhere near the same effect as it has done in previous patches. It's just not the same quite here. As, yeah, without a doubt, an incredible performance there. You see Miracle cleaning up some more kills on your screen in these replays. 16-0-13 for him. The team setting him up perfectly. And Liquid, they didn't look much different from what we saw yesterday. We'll see if they're able to fix it up for game 2, because otherwise, Nigma might just walk away with a very easy 2-0. Don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen, as Nigma up game 1 right now against Liquid.
You're my mission, my grand prize. Catch my vision, no damn pride. Girl, you max easy. I don't mind leaving, just let me know. Then she told me take it easy. Yeah, yeah. I just came here to make y'all feel good. You know what the message is. Suddenly you're with me now. You know what the message is. I be running wild, wild for you, babe. You know what the message is. I don't have no patience, ain't no conversation. Feel good, sometimes make you feel good. I just wanna talk, but you don't wanna listen. Tryna go far, but you got mixed feelings. So I'm finished, I'm on my way. Then you tell me you need it, back in my space. Hey, yeah. How could I lie, just to be cold? Wanna be honest, you should know. I just came here to make y'all feel good. You know what the message is. Suddenly you're with me now. You know what the message is. I be running wild, wild for you, babe. You know what the message is. I don't have no patience, ain't no conversation. Feel good, sometimes make you feel good.
I fell apart when I saw you look at me that way. It broke my heart to see. It was a moment of darkness, a moment in time that I regret for being so heartless. It was a moment of darkness. Moment of darkness.
A spanking handed out there by Nigma as they take the first game up against Team Liquid. Only one chance remains for the boys in blue here. Can they bring us back for game number 2 and send us to a third? You'll have to wait and find out, because for now, we're going to break down the first game here. So welcome back my panel for another time. I've got Dan on Kyo. Lads, Nigma, they had everything in their back pocket, and that's all they needed.
Well, which boy's in blue? Because Nigma's blue, right?
They're purple and blue.
Well, I'm just showing my red-green colorblindness here, but it was...
That's true, that's true.
It was very much the game that Nigma wanted, right? It feels like reminiscent to these other... Like, that was a stomping, let's be honest. The net worth was pretty even until, like, the 20-minute mark of the game, but it always just felt like this Faceless Void, who is one of the hardest carries in the entire game, had no presence. He hadn't used his Chronosphere at all, and then once he joined the fights, there was just not coming back.
Yeah, I was expecting like a completely different scenario that like Liquid can be kick out this Weeha from like level 6 from Koikfa, and after that mid tower go to this bottom tower and get this like towers down. But GH,
Yeah.
GH was insane. He played insane. Like, you know, people that are watching that are like, oh, he died 4 times in the laning stage. The amount of space that this man created was insane. He was always on top of Insania, making sure you had, Alina solo matched up into a Morphling. So you're always going to win out the attack range. You're going to be able to harass down this Morphling, prevent his last hits. And as well, same sort of thing for the mid lane, right? No one could rotate through to make sure that Weeha was going to be able to either A, go down, or B, slow down his levels so that the Visage couldn't run him over. So I think GH was pivotal to all of that.
Yeah, especially like when you're playing this sort of draft, like Visage, Axe, those heroes are all time dependent hero, and like if GH just brings up like some numbers by him dying, like you're just completely ignoring. I mean, you're wasting Liquid's like 5 minutes to 15 minutes by himself.
And I think like there was some good individual plays that we've seen in the past 2 replays. You know, Insania with an insane GG branch juke, Boxy hitting a 3-man call, but they just didn't have the timing to be able to, excuse me, as Fog said, rally around each other. You know, you've got this Axe who had a reasonably early Blink Dagger, and you've got a Visage with the Familiars. You need to push that advantage before you're too far on the back foot, and they just never did.
Yeah, and it just felt like the back foot from most of that game, right? You see here the net worth is slowly creeping up when it gets to a point, and as you said, Matt, as soon as Miracle starts joining these fights, is when they start swinging in their favor. Maybe if Miracle was shut down a little bit more, he had to spend a little bit of extra time in the jungle trying to farm up a few of those items, but he got those at relatively quickly timings. You know, he got that Silent Yasha very early on, and then he was able to just transition that into this status build that we talked about, and then it just gets to a point where it's the Miracle show again, right? Obviously, GH did a lot of work in that first, 15, 20 minutes, and then just to continue to play like a god. And I think what QO touched on in the pre-series here is Nigma in the playoffs are far different to what they are in the group stages. And right now they are making a stand for, heading towards that top 6.
But I feel like they were allowed to be what they were with this draft by Team Liquid, right? They let them pick the Faceless Void first. It wasn't banned out. I don't think the Void Spirit is something that Nigma should be overly worried about, but conversely on Team Liquid, you need to get rid of this Void, especially if Miracle's playing it. Now they're going to have the selection priority, Liquid. Maybe they're going to opt for the first pick just to make sure that they're putting Nigma in this more pressured ban situation. But I think there was a huge blunder letting that through, and GH finally is able to play a more aggressive pause 4 hero, and we saw that he made it work. Very worthy of the MVP in my mind.
Yeah, even like you have a look at his stats here, yeah, they might not be the most flashiest of stats, but just watching the way that he moves around the map, he was always on top of Insania, and as, me and QO were talking in the green room, even if he dies towards, with Koifo making that rotation, you're wasting so much time for that Visage who needs to hit these early timings and take over the game.
And you've got good timings himself. I mean, he got a 26-minute Ags on top of his drums, and so we saw multiple times he popped that overcharge and was able to overclock, supercharge, I forget what it's called, but and just be able to get those multiple hook initiations in, prevent the Morphling from getting away, and all it needs is the Mortimer's Kisses and the Chronosphere to come in, and there's nothing they can do about it.
Yeah, I think Liquid has to change like a few things. Obviously, like letting this Nigma having Void was the plan. There was no reason for them to open up the Void unless they had counter to it, and then which was okay. Like all this Visage, Axe, like let's win our laning phase and like go into the tower so this Void doesn't get a chrono off in the good timing. They have to just throw away these towers, and if it all went as a plan, I think the draft wise it could be good, but like GH single-handedly ruined it, and like I think he really deserves the MVP for the last game.
Yeah, he was looking nice and hot. But speaking of hot, we do have, once again, our DHL drop quiz of today. It's been a lot of spicy ones so far, and let's see if it continues that trend here with our final day in the first round of playoffs. Let's throw it up on the screen and see if you guys can figure this one out. In which German city was TI1 held? A, Frankfurt, B, Berlin, C, Hamburg, or D, Cologne? A lot of beautiful German cities there on the list, but unfortunately only one of them was the host to TI1. It was the start of this amazing journey that we've all been on over the last 10 years, and I mean without that it would not be where we are today. So ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you do want to be a part of our DHL drop quiz, make sure you do use !DHL drop and the corresponding letter to the answer you guys want to give. There is also a link below where you guys can check out where you're standing on our live leaderboards as well, where you can win one of the wonderful prizes that we've got going on here in ESL 1 Germany. But that's it, it's time for our break here, and game number 2 is on the horizon, same with our DHL answer here. So join us after this break and we'll give you the answer.
Are you the biggest Dota 2 fan? Then look out for the DHL Drop Quiz and show off your incredible Dota knowledge. Reply with the right answer in Twitch chat and track your position on our live leaderboard. Will you make it to the top and win the €1,000 prize? Hashtag Gamers Unite.
With the right CPU, you can turn any game from familiar to phenomenal. Unleash the potential in all your gaming with Intel 10th Gen processors. With its optimal balance of threads, cores, and frequency to deliver elite real-world performance, only Intel can bring Marvel's Avengers to life with in-game PC optimizations. Supercharge your Marvel's Avengers experience with Intel Core i5, i7, and i9 processors.
You ready? Huh? Hey, he's a good boy, huh? You ready? Huh?
Start your esports career now at play.eslgaming.com.
Multiple witnesses have reported mysterious shadow sightings all around the city. According to experts, the origin of these shadows is still unclear.
Your favorites will play soon. You hope for the win. Excited about the game. But something has changed. You start to doubt. Will they pull it off? Or will they drift away? You pull yourself together because you're sure they're revved up to win. You know they've prepared. They've picked the right course. And even when there's no chances, you believe they will win. GG Bet. Be excited.
These feelings are waiting for you to come back. Amazing feelings are waiting for you to explore again once the world is ready. Until we meet again. Amazing Thailand.
With the most region possible. This is 600 starting gold right here. If you do half the steps, trust me, you will get better.
ESL One Germany 2020 Online is brought to you by Intel, Mercedes-Benz, Mountain Dew Game Fuel, DHL, GG Bet, Corsair, Acer Predator, and Bitburger 0.0.
Welcome back, everyone, here to ESL 1 Germany. Game number 2 is on the horizon between Team Liquid and Nigma. But before we start getting into that, I have to show you guys the lovely prizes that you can win as a part of our DHL drop quiz. It's our final day here on the panel, so we thought we'd get everything out for you guys. We've got a mouse pad, we've got the i9 processor, and we've got my lovely new model here in front. ESL branded face mask. Keep you guys nice and safe and nice and comfortable as well. We've got the jackets here, white and black version, whichever you guys feel like chucking into your wardrobe, and also the tracksuit pants, and then on the back side of that, we do have our wonderful ESL branded socks. But ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's everything you can win here. So let's see if you guys have won so far with our DHL drop quiz answer. Throw it up on the screen, and it is Cologne D here. Everybody in the chat should have gotten that one. It is where we all started. It is where we all must pay homage when we do get towards TI, especially you, QO. You are the one that needs to pay homage more than everybody else here. So I'm sure everyone got that question correct. You guys can also check out the Motion blog below to see where you guys are standing on our live leaderboard, so you guys can win these sick prizes we've got here. But boys, it's time for game number 2. Game number 2 here, Nigma versus Team Liquid. This could be curtains for the boys of Team Liquid if they do not get this game going. But the draft is ahead of us, so that means we have to start getting into it. We have to start breaking it down. Anything that we're expecting? Faceless Void Bear number 1, right?
Faceless Void Bear number 1. I just want to see Liquid go for a normal draft. I know it's not like their signature thing that they want to do, but just go back to basics. You know, you don't need to break the wheel or reinvent things. Just pick your Rubik, pick your Mars, pick things that you're really strong at.
It has been like a second time, like I think, like trying to draft around this rushed like draft when they don't have to. I personally don't understand why Liquid prefer to do that when Boxy and like Mickey and like Koikfa is not. They're not like aggressive players. Like they're more like a stable and like a very team oriented. But if you just pick those heroes, you're not gonna be using your potentials.
Speaking of hero picks, Matt did point out the Rubik and the Mars, so it's stables here for Team Liquid, and then the Magnus and the PA is picked up here as well from Nigma. This was something that we saw OG run quite a lot. They did unfortunately lose one of those games, so 50% with it so far. But I mean, it's a very stable opener. They're one game up right now, so Nigma, they can do whatever they need. Yeah,
I suppose. I think this game, it's actually okay for Liquid to pick something like the Phoenix. You know, it's the minus attack speed is going to be really effective against both of these heroes. You've got good combination together with the Mars. Insania is very capable of playing the Rubik in the POS 5 role. Or you could just secure yourself a solid laning stage by putting Tiger on the Rubik, you know, lift into Spear. Very easy to execute combination. So yeah. I think it's fine.
I mean, like, we've been missing this Boxy Mars. It was Void Spirit, some Axe, like, that doesn't really, like, put pressure on the enemy carries, and now we see Mars. So like, the Liquid might have a little more aggressive like a thing coming out in the lane at least.
Yeah, I think so. I think Boxy's style of hero is, yes, he's skilled enough to play something like the Void Spirit, but you also need to be that tanky, beefy frontliner. You know, we've seen him play things like the Brewmaster before and things like that, just soak up a ton more damage. And I feel like that's kind of what they've been lacking a little bit this time around. So I'm happy to see the Mars. I'm feeling a lot more optimistic about Liquid's draft right now. But Nigma obviously realizing one of the weaknesses of the PA, if you're able to get through that blur, Viper's gone. So no more break for them. Unless we're seeing a Nyx assassin. You know, our producer Phil was like, well, maybe a Nyx, but
no, he didn't say maybe a Nyx. He said certainly a Nyx.
Not against this, I don't think, unfortunately.
Well, what are we thinking here now, though? Is this going to be like an RMN Magnus? Are we going to be seeing Mind Control pick it up? You know, we talk about Nigma when they pick Magnus. It is almost always Mind Control, but this is a new one.
GH Coddle, you would think.
You'd hope so.
Yeah.
It has to be.
Yeah, it's a staple. And I don't know, they might be trying to change the lanes up a little bit, right? They do it when they pick the IO. You know, sometimes they'll throw RMN together with Mind Control, GH with Miracle. I think this is another one of those lanes, right? You just get the Chakra Magic, you're able to spam out those daggers, harass down the opponent a little bit more. I don't mind it.
Yeah. Like, when you're laning with the PA and Coddle in the same lane, like, you don't really secure a lot of CS because, like, Coddle's really weak as a position 5 if you don't blast the creeps. If you don't blast and, like, pull the creeps so you get more EXP. In that way, it's efficient, but for example, hero like PA requires all this CS, so I'm just expecting that GH will be just playing Coddle in the offlane side, comboing up with the Mind Control, and RMM might just play Magnus as position 5 or Mind Control as position 3.
Do you think that that's a strong enough lane, though? Because Liquid, they've picked up the Spectre now. So usually when we see their Spectre, if they get the free farm, they usually win the game because they can hit those item times a lot faster. Do you want to try and have a more a mana abuser with this Coddle? Because we've seen it, you know, in times of old where the Coddle does abuse those heroes like Bristleback and stuff, right?
I mean, you can even just do it with a Shockwave, right? Like, make Spectre use a lot more of his regen on, his money on regen, as opposed to, I suppose on Liquid side, they could just go something that's able to sustain in lane, like the Chen's still there. I really want them to pick the Phoenix, though. Now that they've got Mars and Spectre, I feel like Phoenix is the perfect pick to have.
Yeah. Phoenix, Mars, always strong hero. Insania can, like, just play Rubik 5. I'm only like concerned about this Spectre laning against this Magnus and Coddle.
Yeah.
They just opened up with Magnus and Coddle, and it just looks like they can Nigma can just put Magnus 3 and then like deny a lot of CS like, against the Spectre.
Yeah, I perfectly agree with that. And it is not necessarily passive, but you kind of struggle to see who they're going to, again, rally around. It's a Witch Doctor coming out, though. Okay, something that's able to sustain in lane. I suppose the lockdown is kind of nice, and with a PA, you can get a lot of burst damage done really quickly, so those Maledict ticks are going to start quick and fast, and a Storm Spirit coming through from Liquid. I mean, this seems like a normal draft, you know? That's the big difference. This is not a Liquid draft, but not necessarily like shading them or anything like that. It's just not their style. So maybe they're feeling a little bit of the pressure, just wanting to make sure that they're not going to bomb out entirely going with their style.
Yeah, I really like Nigma picking up this Witch Doctor and like just deciding this Magnus to be either position 3 or position 2. Just because like they already see the Spectre, but I also like Liquid's draft about this Mars Spectre Storm combination together, and as long as they get okay with the laning phase, I think all this Witch Doctor and Coddle is like the feeding material to Storm and Mars.
And I think that's the biggest reason why they picked it here, right? Is just because, yeah, they might be able to pick the Phoenix in the final pick if it doesn't get banned out, but this Storm Spirit's going to have a pretty free time, you know. If all he has to do is get away from the RP, and it's pretty easy for him to zip out of the ball. He can get away from the cast pretty easily as well. And, I mean, if he doesn't get hit by RP at this point right now, Nigma don't really have much of an answer for the Storm Spirit.
Yeah, they've got so many ways to start fights as well, right? You've got the Haunt, you've got the Blink. Well, you don't even need to go the Blink, right? On the Mars, it might be a case of going a Yule Scepter, you know, force the PA to go into an earlier BKB than she might like. If you're really on point, you can stop the RP before it happens if it is a Blink RP or a Skewer RP combination. And we've seen plenty of times as well in the European scene, but as well as the Chinese, it's something that's always picked up just because, again, you don't need that other hero to set up your spears. You can just do it yourself. So, yeah, I'm much preferring Liquid's draft this game as opposed to game number 1.
Me too, here. I'm a bit surprised with this Coddle and Witch Doctor like duo like support.
They're not roamers.
It's like a feeling of the Shadow Demon and Pangolier the other day that Liquid picked.
Yeah.
Phoenix is unbanned, boys. This is, I mean, I feel like it would be pretty nice right now. The only thing that you've got left is Weehaw picking an egg hitter, which he could potentially pick up. You know, there's a few heroes that's left in the pool, like Alina would be pretty good if they wanted to go that for a final Weehaw pick. But, I mean, I think that if they round it out with a Phoenix here, they've got a lot of tools in their back pocket to Team Liquid. And they've got a really strong lane as well. Mars and Phoenix are really strong against the Phantom Assassin.
Yeah, I'm just thinking, like, all of this sustain, it's I suppose they need a little bit more, right? They need some sort of way to withstand the burst damage that might be coming out from the PA. And that's why I'm feeling so strong about the Yules on the Magnus in particular. Sorry, on the Mars in particular.
I want to see Nyx Assassin.
No,
you know?
it's not the game for
Why?
Nyx.
We get to see this Coddle, and now we get to see a Nyx Assassin. It's a direct counter, and then
I mean,
I think this
what, direct
Nyx
counter
Mars
because of the break?
No, just because of the
Carapace.
Carapace.
Yeah,
for the cleave.
Are you talking about
Like,
the
no, I'm
counter
talking
to
about the
Coddle?
Carapace.
Yeah, the Carapace to counter a PA that has Empower on him is what I'm saying, right? You can just go invis, you can stand next to a Creep Wave, stun him into a combo.
Oh, yeah. That's another thing, but I'm just saying, like, the Coddle or Spirit. We didn't have to. We didn't have to discuss about this.
You guys theory crafted quite a lot. You know, that seems to happen a little bit here on the panel. You theory craft about.
Well,
a
we
few
want to see
heroes.
some new heroes, you know?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. We're getting pretty deep into the hero pool right now. I think we're getting very, very close to only having single-digit heroes left.
I think we might be at single digits. I think we've picked about 110 so far in this tournament.
We'll have to double check, but I think we're very close. To
4 ways to start team fights, by the way, on Liquid. So right now, okay. Ooh. I actually saw in the chat in the lead up to game number 1, people are like, man, why aren't people picking Necro anymore? Isn't it any good? It is against a Spectre, and especially against a Mars as well. You know, you can just dish out a ton of damage using that Heartstopper aura. You're able to survive for your team a little bit longer. It gives you that little bit of sustain that I said might have been lacking. I'm still feeling stronger from Liquid, though. I feel like they're going to be able to run over this this Nigma lineup.
Yeah, me too. Unless they actually secure this mid lane and the safe lane and off lane, like they have to get the certain like advantage in the lane. If they don't, I feel like they're just gonna get run down.
Yeah,
could be very, very scared if this Necrophos gets ganked a few times, right? Like they've got the Earth Spirit that can rotate in, whereas Nigma, they don't have any rotators.
If Necro dies once or twice, like this game is,
very hard.
Scary.
Very hard.
Very scary.
Yeah.
All right, lads. Final thoughts before we start heading into game number 2 here between Liquid and Nigma.
Liquid for me.
What about you, QO? What are you sitting? What are you feeling?
There's no break either. Who
Nigma...
built Silver Edge on this against a Spectre? No one.
Yeah. But like Nigma, like Miracle's just showing the dominance performance. I just can't go against it.
You did in game 1.
I tried and then it didn't work out. Playoff